Labor Day, and there are so many different things. With Labor Day just a couple of days away, essentially, for the whole weekend festivities to start, so many ways that you can put out little creative ideas for hors d'oeuvres or to pass the tray at parties. And if you've not yet sampled the Flagels, what is a Flagel?
A flattened bagel.
If
It's
you've not tried the Flagels, the flattened bagels that we've previously had one other time on the air, now is your chance. They're from Jimmy the Baker, and you get your choice of 12 or 24 of them. The Buy More, Save More is saving $10 if you want to get more in that set. It's in 50999, but the 12 count sold out in its debut just really within the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
Hi, Jimmy the Baker.
Hello, Miss Sharon.
All right, I have to say hello. And also, we like to affectionately call you America's Neighborhood Baker because you did work in Wall Street, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that your very first foray into the industry was through the
bagel store.
The Daily
Bagel in Yorktown Heights, New York.
Yep.
The Daily Bagel.
The Daily Bagel.
And it was on that fateful night where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I drove into an all-night bagel shop, looked up at the sky and said, give me the answer. And the worker came over and put the bagel down and said, you like? And that's when I knew.
He said, I do.
That's my story.
I like it. So this is what I need to let you know, 12 or 24. That means you will either get 3 each or 6 each of these 4 flavors that you see in front of you. There's the poppy seed, there's everything, which is classic Americana and New York, the sesame, and then also the onion bagel. So you get all 4 flavors, 3 or 6 of each. Before I even go into prices and breakdowns and all of that stuff, can you tell me what makes a good bagel? Because you could buy a bagel in Milwaukee. It doesn't mean that it's the kind of bagel you would be buying in the streets of New York.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to wax New York. And all about New York is the water.
Water.
New York
water in New York.
Water in New York is, for some reason, for bagel dough and for pizza dough, makes a superior product. I don't know that anybody really knows why, but there's a few things that go into this.
I don't
bagel.
want to know why. It's magic.
Primarily, it is a New York water. This is a water-boiled bagel. Bagel dough is made, and I talk about the cinnamon rolls being aged. This is aged dough where we let the yeast do its thing over a period of days and let the yeast and the flour and whatever little sugar is in that dough all do its thing. And that's why you get the texture. That's why those of you from Arizona, the displaced New Yorkers, Eileen down in Texas, yes, I'm gonna seal the bags, Eileen. All you displaced New Yorkers who called me, my phone rang like crazy.
Yeah, that happens to you.
And yes, but all from New Yorkers from all over the country in Florida, all said this is the real thing. We haven't had this in years.
I can tell you if you've never had a true New York bagel, and I do want to remind you too, 12 or 24. If you go for the 24 count, you're getting twice as much food, but it's not twice the price. It's $10 less to do it that way, and they can be frozen. If it looks like a lot, don't worry, they can be frozen. But what makes a great bagel is getting that little bit of this layer right on the outside, crisp. Hot oven, we'll talk about that in a second. This little layer crisp on the outside, but then the inside has got to be doughy, chewy, delicious. That is the texture that you want on the inside of a bagel, and frankly, many of them are just too dense.
Ouch.
They're too heavy. Is that really piping hot out of the oven?
I asked for it hot. I got it hot.
So wait, so how do we prepare these? Because when they come to us fresh or frozen?
These are baked and delivered. These are literally going to be baked and put right in the box and delivered to you. So the first thing you need to do when you get them is put them right in the freezer. I chose to make a real bagel. Now, when we say a supermarket bagel, what I mean by that is supermarkets want you to get long shelf life. They want the bagel to last a long time. I chose not to do that. Do you know why? Because it affects the taste of the bagel. It's not authentic tasting.
Got you.
So I'm taking a chance here. And those of you who bought these know that I'm baking them. I'm not freezing them at all. I'm sending them right to you. So they're going to come packed in freezer bags, tied. You can take them right out of the box and put them in the freezer if you're not going to eat them right away. When it's time to eat them, even from the freezer or from the box, put them in a hot oven, 400 degrees. Yes, you can just put these right in the toaster as is, or if you really want a crisp, chewy New York bagel, I don't toast bagels at home. I light my oven at 400 to 450 degrees. I put it in for about 5 to 8 minutes. It's screaming hot, but the crackle, and the crisp.
And you know what? And here's the other thing too. These are, this one was really hot. They're flat bagels. So you can slice them, But this has been so divine in my experience to not have to slice them. I just am doing sort of the tear and
Yes.
dunk where we can have all kinds of ideas. So since this is guaranteed to arrive on time for Labor Day with your major credit card, you can get this at home and put out different varieties of cream cheese, or you can put out some butter and rip small pieces for your guests, and even do toothpicks like an appetizer.
This is my favorite breakfast.
What is, oh my gosh.
I don't know, is it a New York
Is that
thing?
an egg over easy?
Yeah,
I love runny eggs.
It's egg over easy with a piping hot sesame, buttered on top. You can
I would eat that for dinner.
You can slice these open. You definitely can do that. But you really don't need to.
You don't
And
need to.
The comments I'm getting from people are people who typically take the bagel, open it, and pull the insides out.
Yeah,
And
right.
You don't have to do that.
No, because the whole thing is just phenomenal.
Right.
That egg was like the most divine thing I've seen in a really long time. I want to eat that right now. And don't forget, this is not a choice of flavors. You are getting the poppy seed and the everything bagel and sesame and the onion bagel. I think the onion has been one of my personal favorites.
The onion
so
is
far.
the big surprise because actually we didn't know that people would, we threw it in as a fourth flavor, but it's actually been people's
Seriously?
favorite.
If
It's
you
full
give me
of
these
flavor.
four, that's the one I go for first.
Really? Really?
With some cream cheese. It's just pure divinity. And by the way, I need to remind you, we had this on once before in the 12 count, sold out in its debut, but we have the 12 and the 24 count. If you do the 12 count, they're $2.33 a piece, which is a bargain even if you were to get it just walking down the street in New York City. But here, if you go for the 24 count, it's $1.92 a piece for true New York bagels with New York water and $509.99. If you go for the 12 count, it's 3 in each of those 4 flavors. 24 count is 6 in each of the 4 flavors, and your shipping and handling is free. So whether it's for the weekend, because Labor Day's coming and it's guaranteed, or it's just to have on hand, they're amazing. Read the reviews, they're fabulous.
Thank
My
you.
dear, thank you so much. Bring that egg back next
I will.
time. That was awesome. Hey, by the way, lots of stuff coming your way. There is a one-day only value, the likes of which we have never seen before, and I think you're going to get a peek of it here in a second. It is an ultimate seafood bake with 5 to 6 ounce lobster tails, clams, mussels,